Let's talk about inheritance in Java. So inheritance is just a way of accessing the properties of another class, just like a child who has resembling characteristics of his parents, maybe like eye color or height or intelligence. We say he or she has inherited that particular characteristic from his parents. So similarly, in the world of Java, the class which inherits is called the child class or subclass, and the class from which it inherits is known as parent or superclass. They're also called base and derived classes, but you get the general idea. And why is it even needed? Why is inheritance even there? Well, because Java is a strongly object-oriented programming language, and inheritance is the main feature of OOP languages, unlike the C language. So inheritance is used for code reusability. You can use the same methods already defined, and it helps to maintain your code for bigger projects. So anyways, enough talk, let's dig into some action. Let me give you a simple example and then we'll talk about the types of inheritance. So we'll make a class person and declare an integer, say int legs equals 2, and int arms, and also set it equals to 2. And let's create another class now and name it superhero and define a superhero now. So we'll say boolean can fly, set it equals to false, superheroes don't fly, that's fiction. So another boolean is rich and set it to true. Now what else does a superhero have? Well, superhero is just a person, just like me and you. He also has 2 legs and 2 arms. So if only there was some way we could just access these data members of the person class, well, guess what? We do. We just use the extends keyword after our class name and then type the name of the base class, which is person in our case. So this person class has now become the parent class and superhero is its child. We're just saying that our superhero cannot fly and is rich, but also he is just some dude in a costume and is a person. Let's create an instance of a superhero class and display its members inside our main. We'll say superhero Batman equals new superhero, put parentheses, so CISO Batman dot can fly, and another CISO Batman dot is rich. Print 2 more statements, Batman dot legs, Batman dot arms, and go ahead and run it. Boom. We can see that superhero object can access the fields of its own class as well as the person class. How cool. Inheritance is of 3 types in Java. We have single level, multi-level, and hierarchical inheritance. We'll briefly talk about each one. So in single level inheritance, one class inherits from another class. In multi-level inheritance, we have derived class which inherits from base class, just like in single inheritance. And then in addition to that, there is a subclass that inherits from the derived class. So we have this multi-level stack formed. Finally, when 2, 3, or more classes inherit from a single class, it is known as hierarchical inheritance. Let me give you examples of each one to better explain. For instance, we have a class, say dinosaur, and what does the dinosaur do? Of course, it eats, so we'll write a method eat inside this class which prints out chomp chomp. Yeah. So create another class, say T-Rex, which extends dinosaur, so it inherits from the dinosaur class since T-Rex is also just a dinosaur, but in addition to eating, it kills. So we'll write a method kill that prints out there it is. This is called single inheritance when a class inherits another. Just to test things out, we'll write our main method and your main can't be outside the class, so and create instance of a new T-Rex and your T-Rex can eat chomp chomp and you can also kill. Yeah, it works. So next up we have multi-level inheritance. So I'll just create another class called baby T-Rex, which essentially is just a T-Rex but a baby. So a baby T-Rex does eat, can kill an average human being, but it has also got its major perk, which is to look cute, which prints out a pleading face in the console. Yeah, that's how you look cute. Now in our main, we'll make a baby T-Rex object baby T-Rex dot look cute and run it. It prints out chomp chomp and a pleading face. As you can see in the example, baby T-Rex class inherits the T-Rex class, which again inherits the dinosaur class, so there is a multi-level inheritance. Next up, we'll talk about hierarchical inheritance. So let me just delete this baby T-Rex class and also in the main and add another class, say pterodactyl, which is another dinosaur. So we will extend dinosaur class here. And what's special about pterodactyl? Well, it is a flying dinosaur. So we'll write this method void fly, which prints out, flap flap, telling us that our pterodactyl is flying. Now in our main, define a pterodactyl and pterodactyl.eat method and pterodactyl.fly method and run it. We can see that T-Rex and pterodactyl classes inherit the dinosaur class. So there's this hierarchical inheritance. And the methods of the derived class are unique, which means this pterodactyl class can't access this kill method of the T-Rex class, although I'm pretty sure it can easily rip apart an average human being. And one thing to keep in mind is that Java does not support multiple inheritance. For instance, if you want this pterodactyl class to extend both the T-Rex and dinosaur class by putting a comma, we won't, and this will produce a compile time error, but languages like C++ do. So why isn't that the case with Java? Well, they say it's to reduce complexity and not cause ambiguity. So just to keep things simple, they remove this feature, and chances are you won't ever run into problems where you need multiple inheritance for your project. But if you do, there's something called an interface in Java, which is similar to a class, and multiple inheritance can be achieved through interfaces, but we'll talk about that in some other video maybe.